Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to do Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, episode 16 review. Now, of course, before I get started, look down in the description below for the link to this week's episode. Did I just fumble? Yes, I did. Look down in the description below for this week's episode of Magi. Now, that being said, all right, and wait, hold on. Before I forget, Sony Music, you do not own anything when it pertains to this video. The thumbnail is an original photo which does not belong to you. The visuals are me. You do not own me. And the audio is a homemade soundtrack with me speaking over it. This video follows the rules and regulations that are set by YouTube. Now, that being said, this week's episode, overall, I liked it. Like, I really did. And the main reason why was because A, Aladdin's back. B, we're gonna see a second. It sets up the second confrontation between Judal and Aladdin. C, is that we saw like really cohesive teamwork between Morgiana and Alibaba, and we haven't seen that yet in the anime. Now, granted, it may have existed in the manga, but in the anime, we haven't seen that kind of cohesive teamwork up until like today. And, I mean, yeah, she did come and help Alibaba when he was first invading the palace. But, like, this one, like, we truly see, like, teamwork, like, straight-up teamwork. So I was 1, 2, 3. I think, yeah, I was 3. 4 is that the Jinn, the Dark Jinn, which is actually a new concept now. And I like it because that guy who I guess, in a way, transformed Kashim into this dark creature is now known, is now known as a Dark Jinn. And people who are very affluent with Dark Rook or Ruhu, like for example, like this guy with the big ass staff, Judal, they can control Dark Jinn. So so that means that Dark Jinn, if they're going to exist further on the series of Magi, they're not going to be that affluent like the real Jinn. Like the real Jinn, they're very affluent, they're very cognitive, they're very rational, like they're rational beings, where these Jinn are kind of like mindless creatures that kind of like, you know, just kill motherfuckers. And apparently, according to this guy with the staff, they can control gravity. And I'm like, yo, like when we saw Kashim in his Dark Jinn form, and he makes all these gravity balls, starts killing mad people. I'm like, yo, yeah, like yeah. So right there are the reasons why I enjoyed and I like this episode of Magi. Now what I will say is that even though he has attained the wisdom of Solomon, it appears that Aladdin has gained no actual like magic. Like he's still using that heat magic, which like is good for like fodder tears. But against someone like Judal, it's not gonna work out. It's just not. So I mean, hey, he was able to. I don't know how he knew, but the guys who have Sinbad's, the guys who have Sinbad's Jinn, his items that contain the Jinn, Aladdin told Morgiana to take Sinbad over there because that's where those guys were, and he knew that. So maybe that was, you know, because of Solomon, and also he did make an image of Ugo in his with a Rook, but again, he didn't really do anything he didn't do any, like, you know, wind magic or lightning magic. You know, he just did the heat thing, and then that was pretty much it. So now, but now Alibaba and Aladdin are gonna have, you know, a combo here. They're gonna do a combo, and they're gonna go off against who? Judal and this Dark Jinn. And yeah, so that was the whole entire thing right there. But aside from that, the parts that are also okay and like not that bad, like for example when we saw Judal, Jahar, yeah. When we saw Jahar and Masaru, and like, they're helping the people because the people are like, there's people who are like, you know, like they're killing women and children, like fuck, you know, like yeah, like they've completely deviated from the actual fucking, like, you know, from the scheme. It was like, at first it was okay, let's go into the palace and kill the nobles, kill the ones that screwed us over. And then it's all of a sudden transformed into massacre. And it's like, why? Like, what's going on here? I mean, granted, the Dark Jinn are the reason as to why this is occurring, but it was like the transition between point A and point B, it was like, whoa. Like, it was like, whoa, okay. Like, there's one scene, like before Jahar, like, came in, like, there's one scene, he had, like, this guy, this random dude had a woman. He was like, die. And he was about to stab her. I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? Like, seriously. And so, it's fucking chaos. But, however, Aladdin, he did point out that there are those within the city who still have the fire of hope. The fire of hope. And, like, they have this white rule that surrounds them, opposed from the dark one that these guys have. So now we're starting to see the influx of white Ruhu come inside the city. I mean, granted, there's still more dark Ruhu, but now we're seeing more white Ruhu come in. And, you know, that's good. Because it's pretty fucking sad to see that this country had finally changed. And here comes Kashi and the boys, you know, like, yeah, we taking over. Like, fuck, like, god damn it, Kashi. Alibaba just took over. And now you want to come in and take over? It's like, fuck. So, I mean, like, it was a necessity. Like, I can understand why. Because if Alibaba were to just talk Kashi out of it, no, that would have been good. So, even though it's, like, depressing, even though it's, like, fuck, it's still a necessity. And that deserves credit. Now, what I will say is that the way things are going now, the way things are going now, it appears that, and by the way, one last thing, Sinbad, he was injured, he was wounded, because he tried to stall the Dark Jinn, because like at some point, like the Dark Jinn was gonna kill Alibaba, but he jumps on the Dark Jinn's back, stabs his hand through its head, and then it's like he's starting to like infuse Magi, but he's getting overrun by the Dark Rook, so he can't really do shit, and then he gets thrown to the side after Alibaba stalls, because once he stabs the Jinn with you know, his sword, he gets to the core, and in the core he sees Kashim, and Kashim, he's now, you know, like he's like Alibaba, so Kashim, I think, is still, you know, he's still there amongst all that darkness, but I don't think he's gonna come back. Like so that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that Kashim, he's pretty much dead. I mean, I don't see him coming back at all. I just don't. I really don't. And is that a good thing in my opinion? Yes, because if per se Alibaba is the one who's gonna kill Kashim, which I think he is, it's gonna help Alibaba. It's gonna help Alibaba. It's gonna help Alibaba progress forward as a character, and we want that. We want that because he is one of the main characters. And this situation that he's going through right now should be a mere stepping stone for him to become king, or him to become, because he is a king candidate, but he may not be a king. He may be like a president, you know, because they're trying to make like democracy. So he may be like the first president later on, because Alibaba is based off a real person, and I don't know the backstory of this real person known as Alibaba, like the real Alibaba. So, but like he may be the founder of like democracy in the world to come, and thus he is the quote-unquote king in a sense, and thus fulfilling his role as the king candidate chosen by a Magi known as Aladdin. But hey, I mean, that's what I think. That's what I think. And this stepping stone should propel his character even more forward. Not so much Morgiana, not so much Aladdin, but more so. But see, Aladdin has already gotten his thing with Ugo and learning and Solomon's wisdom. But but this arc is mainly for Alibaba, and Alibaba becoming the man who he's future to be. You know, that kind of stuff right there. And the first step is Baalbek, his old homeland. And it's good. It's good. So the rating overall is going to be, I'm going to give it a good. It was good. It was good. I liked it. The animation was good. The pacing was good. Again, it may be faster than the manga, but as of right now, it appears that the pacing is actually fairly well done. It's not incredibly fast like JoJo. It's like, whoa. But no, it was actually fairly good, in my opinion, fairly good pacing. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I'm done. King Lightning. Oh yeah, and of course, character development for Aladdin because we now see the wisdom of Solomon and how he's utilizing it, but he's not there yet. Like, he's not, you know, OP. So, but he will be at some point. And, like, no shit, because he has Solomon's wisdom. He has Solomon's fucking wisdom. Facepalm. So, I'm done. King Lightning. Be sure to, of course, rate, comment, subscribe as always. And I'm signing out. Peace. Have a nice day.